Hey, hold on, Darren.
Well, what up? Stop it.
Record and then go.
All right, I think it's recording. It is.
All right, what up?
All right, what up, everybody? This is
welcome
our intro. It's really loud.
to episode Anthony Hardaway of
This is episode 1.
All Harmony Zoomcast.
All right.
Of the I guess what you call this the sunset quarantine special edition. I don't know how else to say it.
You got it.
You know, the funny thing is, as I'm looking through the Zoom, why am I seeing people's faces everywhere?
We'll work out the kinks later on.
We'll work out the kinks later. I have no clue.
We'll
all I'm gonna do is just focus on you, brother. So
all right.
This here, you know your boy right here, J-Ho, Dr. J, whatever you want to call me. Maybe a slander if you want. LA's finest. What about yourself? What do you want to call yourself? Little D?
You can call me whatever you want. Here's one big thing about this podcast. We're going to mute you guys when you guys come in, but here's the thing. You guys can comment on the Zoomcast, and then from there, at the end, what Jason's going to do, he's going to do the job of collecting everybody's comments. We'll have a little listener feedback. So
yes, sir.
Any hate, any grime that you have our way,
anything you want, throw it at me.
Throw it. All right. Jason will get it all. All right.
All right, go ahead. First of all, shout out Nipsey Hussle right here. R.I.P. March 31st.
Compton.
All right.
All right. The No Thugs All Harmony podcast. I mean, Jason stated it before on our Instagrams, our social media purpose. We're just trying to stay connected and motivate others to stay connected during this it's really unique time. We guarantee
we all miss you guys. For
sure. We guarantee that 95% of our talk is going to be lighthearted. We're going to incorporate our Christian faith and the truth we believe in throughout. It's just who we are.
But we're still keeping it real.
We got to keep it real.
Still got to keep it real.
I'm going to see. Ooh, I love it. All right. Maybe a little introduction. How about that, Jason?
Real quick.
All right. How about this? I'll start.
Go ahead, Darren.
I am a virgin Zoomcaster. Never done anything like it.
He just popped it.
Based in SF, based in the Sunset District, born and raised. I mean, most of you guys know this. I'm a newly married man. 8.5 months married to my awesome wife, Elaine. What I do for a living, I'm a behavior analyst by day, Zoomcaster by night. Isn't that right, Jason?
There you go.
And I'm a Christian, Jesus follower, just like you, Jay. So go ahead.
Your boy, born in Southeast Asia, raised 8 years over there, and then went to LA, raised in purple and gold. Never wavered from that. So purple and gold all the way. So, but right now, I still love Jesus. So it doesn't matter. My church his church extends all the way to the Bay. So that's why I'm here.
All right. Since this is our first podcast, we're going to work at a lot of kinks. One is the soundboard. Let's see. Give me a thumbs up if you hear that one, guys. Oh, it's happening. All right. Sweet.
Let's go.
We got far worse than that one, but that one's the PG version. Hey, Jay, how did we meet?
Thailand. We went to a cafe.
No.
We went to a cafe, and there was a questionably gendered person serving us, and she came to a liking towards you.
Not true. We got pictures though that'll clearly dispute what you got. Oh, jeez. All right, good memories. Yes, we didn't meet there, but we connected deeper in the outer lands of the beautiful land of Chiang Mai, Thailand.
Yeah. No, but we served together in the mission trip last year that Matt and I led, and then that was Darren's first as well, and yeah, it was a good time. God was good. And he's good still now, despite all the coronavirus stuff.
That is absolutely true. It's probably a good segue, but before that, I want to kind of highlight. So today we're going to be talking about the obvious thing, how we've been The zebra in the room. I don't
Yeah.
understand why you brought up. You said it was the elephant.
Elephant in the room.
It's not the elephant. Everybody's talking about it. Everybody and their mom, literally. So, but yeah, I agree with you there. It's something that we can't go without saying. It'd be weird to start this podcast without it.
Yep.
Just a brief intro to what we're talking about for posterity's sake. We're going to talk about COVID-19 and how we've been kind of dealing with it in our own private lives. Some simple stats as of yesterday, 245,000 cases in the U.S., over 6,000 deaths.
Now, probably.
In the Bay Area, like in a lot of areas in the U.S., we have a shelter-in-place order, so a lot of us are working from home. A lot of us are losing our jobs. A lot of us are dealing. School is out probably throughout the year. Jason's got a couple kids. They're home with them, probably right behind you, probably going to make a cameo.
No, I locked the door.
Oh, you did?
Because they'll climb over me.
Hey, you can still hear scratching and screams.
I mean, if there's tantrums, there's going to come through the wall.
You got it. Non-essential businesses are closed. Small businesses. What else we got? Oh, big one. Church. We're not doing in-person church. That's kind of a weird thing that we're not used to. Probably be like that for a while. So Jason and I are going to have to connect to each other through this means, as in a lot of you guys.
Connecting through all you guys, like through this way, it's crazy, but it is what it is.
We don't know how long we're going to do the Zoomcast, but what we do know is that as long as this isn't case,
as long as I'm alive, and as long as Darren's alive.
Hey, even then.
That's true. That's true.
We'll get a little Nipsey podcast going on.
There you go.
All right, let's start with a good old topic.
What
Jason,
you got me?
How are you dealing with this? Your personal life, besides the sharp room.
It's funny. It goes through phases, and I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys experience the same thing. But the first week, it's a lot of fear, anxiety, unknown. Maybe the first 2 weeks, fear, anxiety, unknown. Third week is more, all right, adjusted. But now it's to the point of like sadness. Sadness has set in because you start seeing the numbers, because sadness and the feeling of upset and just feeling of like, first of all, middle America hasn't even caught on to it yet. I think there's about 7 or 8 or even 6 states that haven't even done this. They're still like out in the open, just chilling. Like, to me, I'm just a little bit like puzzled, like, what? This is called a pandemic for a reason, but apparently, that it shows, especially somebody like myself who grew up in a third, back then it was a third world like area. You see diseases more prevalent, and like you take it more seriously. You don't just take it for granted thinking like, oh, it's not going to happen to me. But if anything, this disease has shown that it doesn't matter what socioeconomic, whatever background, whatever status you have, everyth's all even. Is your boss calling you?
No, it's my awesome wife, Elaine, who's in the room.
Yeah, I know, your boss. That's why
we're live.
Hi,
this is live. Just kidding. This is my partner
in crime. But for real, to go back, like this is an event unlike any other, because it shows that it doesn't matter who you are. You're pretty much the same as everyone else, and you can be affected, and everyone's all in this together, which is very unique. We don't have a lot of moments like this except for like world wars and whatnot. And so like, that's what I'm dealing with right now, is more on the sadness, more like if I do start seeing the numbers, but I know learning to cling on to the Lord is always, that's been my refreshing moments. And the other thing also is being able to spend a lot of time with the kids and the wife. And so, but at the same time, it's not all good. Let's be honest, it's not all good. This is a time where God is truly testing us. And you guys probably agree with us too, like, in that now you can never run away from your kids. You can never run away from your wife that you had a fight the night before. You have to deal with it. You can't go off into the distance for a long period of time and you see this person. And so in my opinion, I think I truly believe like this is God's way of not only testing us, but if you guys know the word sanctification is making that you holier in the sight of Him, in the sight of Him. And that's really what He's doing right now in a way. If you look at it from that perspective, that He really is sanctifying every believer, testing out in a way, sort of weeding them out too, seeing who's able to cling on to Him, who's able to not. Side note, this is funny because we have a couple like guests over here, but all I see is just Kevin's shoe.
Hey,
How the heck did he sneak up in here?
you couldn't get him out if you tried.
Oh man, this guy, he snuck in first. He knew about this. Anyway, how about
I
yourself?
got no problem. You know what? Same here. I do see it as a sanctification thing. It has given me to the point of battling complacency. Me and some guys in my small group, we're all battling complacency right now in our faith. It's funny. You would think that with more time and away from the public sphere, you would think that you would have more opportunity to make the most out of it. But I'm still finding ways to waste time. I'm still finding ways to not have my mind postured, oriented towards God. So that's a battle. I don't know about you.
Yep. It is a huge battle. Because on the one end, you're like, you're here, God, you're here. And then there'll be a lot of moments when you're like, where are you? Where are you? Like, you know, every time you wake up, if you have a Twitter account, you see Twitter and numbers go up and you're like, huh? But when you take a step back and you realize that, and if you are a God-fearing person, you understand that He is sovereign in all this as well too. Whatever He's doing, if you do trust Him, you do, and like in Colossians 3, it says, you know, look at this on the side of the things, not on this earth, but on the things above. When you do that, it does comfort you. It does realize like, hey, you know what? He is, despite all this, He's in control of this, but He's also doing this for a reason. You know, like He is not satisfied with the way that we are right now. And that's where the word sanctification, making us holier, more holier in the sight of Him, comes through, you know. And so that has helped me a lot, you know, and help. I would say the first 2 weeks, the relationships with the wife and the kids was like, it was a lot of adjustment period, right? Because we didn't know, our tempers was a lot easier to be flared up.
Yep.
But now, you know, seriously, now is like I mean, I'm not trying to be complacent, but I'm a lot more aware of these things. And at the same time, and I get to enjoy, you know.
For those that don't know, if you've been following Jason on social media, you'll know that he's been on fire recently.
Yes,
so,
and this is a side note.
Hey, make it clear. What do you have to say?
This is why I'm not on the front line, but I'm not on the front line. But right? I am on the front line, if that makes sense, because I still, from time to time, some days, you know, at least for the most part, I work half days, go out there, expose myself to people. Like yesterday, I was in the hospital because I don't deal with COVID-19 patients. I deal with patients with lower extremity problems. And if they have like wounds and like limbs salvage that needs to be done, I do that kind of stuff. And so I see them on a daily to weekly basis, and I'm exposing myself to COVID-19 easily for the sake of serving people. The reason why I do this is because you know, like, it's my job. And the second thing is so I don't overload the emergency rooms with all these problems, because if people have problems, like emergency problems, if there's no one to see them or other doctors, who are they going to turn to? The ER. And they're not going to get proper treatment with all the numbers and COVID-19 going on. So it offloads pressure from that. The other thing is, we got to take it seriously. Plain and simple. I don't want to go beyond my rant. I just want people to understand, yes, the numbers are scary. The numbers are depressing, but we can't ignore it. Like, that's what it is.
Hey, all right, alongside with that,
you know what I mean? And like, yeah, go ahead.
What do you see people doing in the day-to-day that bothers you the most?
Being outside, I see like people thinking that it's not gonna affect them. Like I'm saying, that's the one thing. Like they think that they're omnipotent. They think that it's not gonna affect them at all. But I realized I was like, it doesn't matter if you got the money. It doesn't matter if you have this and that. It can actually affect you, and you think that it's not gonna happen to you. But that's how all this happened. That's how New York is looking like a mess right now because they think it's not going to happen to them because they're Americans.
There's got to be exceptions, man.
Here's what I'm saying. Me from somebody from the perspective of somebody who grew up from outside. America is one of the most happy-go-lucky places I've ever experienced in my life. I met more people probably than I can ever count in my life that think that everything will be fine. Yeah, everything will be fine, but you also everything's got to be fine only if you know, like in your wisdom, like, is this safe? Is this the wise thing to do? Now, when people go out there and start, like I was saying in my rant, throwing their kids around like it's hot potato. I know how it is.
Yeah.
I have little kids. It's hard, like it's April works for like full-time job. I work. But we got to make sacrifices because if it's for the sake of our parents, even for us, because apparently now the virus is showing that it doesn't matter if you're healthy, it can get you.
You're right.
And so, you got to take this seriously just because for once in American history, this is not a happy-go-lucky place anymore. This is the epicenter of the pandemic, baby. This is ground zero. Actually, New York City is ground zero. And I was telling like my wife, because she lived in New York before, like near one of the bigger like medical center over there. I told her, I'm like, imagine when you're, if you were in that apartment right now, overlooking the window, you just see like body bags just rolling out of the back of that hospital. The white bags. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Like when you see, like when you see a truck getting things into the hospital, that's likely supplies. But when you see things coming out of the hospital, that's nothing except bodies. And guess what? Who's in those body bags? Your mom, or somebody's mom, somebody's dad, somebody's daughter, son. That's crazy to me, and that's like, this is like, I've never in my life seen, I think, as if, like you hear it in history as far as like, Spanish flu and all these things, right? But it's something more surreal to actually live it out. You know what I mean? And that's why I don't care. You know me. I don't care all the smoke. I want all the smoke. Okay. I don't care if people if they get offended or anything. No. Yeah. Put that on blast. But anyway, I don't care if like people feel offended or like, oh man, that's a little harsh. Doesn't matter. It got to you. So whether you listen to it or not, maybe you can pass it along somehow to another person. It doesn't matter. All I want is just one person to just be able to say, you know what? He's right. We got to take this serious. We have to eat our inconvenience. And the reason why I say target young parents is because I'm a young parent. I'm eating my inconvenience. I have a headache every day. Like people, if you check my blood pressure, is probably all hypertensive right now.
Yeah.
And shout out to the Calm app. My God, that's been allowing me to like sort of just slow down in my blood, tone down my
therapeutic
blood pressure.
Action.
It is therapeutic. And also LeBron James.
What about
what about him? Well, he's my band right. He's my guy right there. He's the face. There you go. The Calm app.
Yeah. Get what you need.
Get what you need. Get what you need.
Yeah. Hey, follow up for that. You know how in church history, it's always, if we're going back millennia to plagues, and how Christians were known for being those people that stepped in and dealt with it, without protecting themselves to care for those that were sick. How do Christians now love others, love their neighbors in a very tangible way?
I've been encouraging people and like, especially those who, I can't imagine to go through this without having Jesus Christ in their life. Like I mentioned earlier before, Colossians 3, I'm putting my sights on the things above. I know whatever happened, I have the things above. I've inherited. But I can't imagine how somebody who doesn't understand that or have that, how do you go about this? This is full-blown confusion for somebody like that. And so, like I've been, randomly texting, touching, but even Zoom sometimes, like people that are in my immediate like circle, not only family, I'm talking about like friends, colleagues, like at least how are you doing?
Sure.
It's just to know that I'm thinking of you. And it doesn't matter, like I'm just thinking of you at least like from the easiest, most like superficial way, and like, are you okay through all this? You can always count on me, and I'll be compliant with social distance, no worries. Even
All
if it
right.
means like getting some TP, I'll just throw TP in your backyard or something.
Hey, side note question: if you ran out of TP, what would you do?
Oh man, I'm from Southeast Asia, baby, third world country. You know what I do? Get that shower head and go sprinkle my butt.
Oh.
True facts. True facts. I have not used TP the past 3 weeks.
Ooh.
Shower, baby. You know what? And that's the cleanest way. That's why I have no, like I feel the cleanest and smoothest down there.
Bidet.
Is that called a bidet?
Oh, it's the
Here's the
beta prototype, the bidet prototype.
It's a makeshift bidet. But you know what? The way I grew up was there was a bucket on the side
Oh,
where you
come
took
on
a dump,
now.
where you squat, and there's a bucket of water. What do you do afterward? Boom, splash. Left hand is the hand not to shake your hands or not to eat with. But
Hey,
no, there's soap.
for those curious, picture in the show notes. We got to have it. When
So
we publish
that's
this.
a tip. That's a tip. If you're scared, oh man, I'm gonna lose TP. Go the Southeast Asian way, baby. That's how we survive all these diseases.
We'll back off of this. Hey, back on topic. Convenience. What has been the suckiest thing about this all? Just throw out the your disgruntlement with those that are not practicing social distancing. What is it? Is it the restaurants? Is it the no sports? That's a big one for you.
Yeah, it's a big one for me. But you know what? Here's the cool. Just to be on, I'll be on sports real quick, and I'll keep on going. But sports, the good part is I get to appreciate all the old clips, baby. It's been nice to see how good Kobe was. Shout out R.I.P. to the GOAT. But
we don't need that banter up here.
In
the Bay.
No, but like I've been watching like old highlights. I was like, man, these guys were, oh man, like so much better than like what we see now, like the skill level. But anyway,
hey, we'll talk about that another day. That's
another
next
day,
week.
another day. Preview. But anyway, convenience is really the getting the errands. Like here's the thing: the stats shows that the majority of people who are infecting or this disease has been males, because we're the ones that really are doing the errands. We're the ones that are going to groceries, right? I'm looking like Scorpion and Sub-Zero like every time. I'm planning my
little Mortal Kombat.
And you know what? Might as well. I told my brother, who we played Mortal Kombat back in the past. I was like, every time I go to the groceries, I'm wearing a hoodie and I'm wearing my mask. I'm going to look like Sub-Zero the best that I can. No one's going to mess. I'm the last Asian person you want to mess with, if anyone decides to do it. That's what we always say. That's why, like, yesterday, my brother and I, like, actually joking around, like, it's funny that God didn't put us together geographically in one place. We would make these streets look like Streets of Rage. Shout out to Streets of Rage, in Sega. Because it would just look bad. Goodness. Anyway, I'm not a violent
I'm a 90s
man.
baby, man.
I'm a 90s baby. Streets of Rage, shout out. That was a legit game. But the inconvenience of wearing a mask, like waiting, literally it takes like an average an hour now to go grocery shopping. Right? Because you just gotta wait in line. that's the inconvenience. But at the end of the day, if that's our inconvenience is staying at home and like, going to groceries takes an hour. I mean, that's the least of our worries should be, man. It's not like we're going to war. It's not like they're giving us M16, and let's go, baby.
Sure.
We're still seeing our family. We're still playing with our kids and stuff. We'll get through this, especially God. God will give us the strength. I know he will. And he's given us the strength each and every day. So
here's the thing. We're going to transition now. I know we never go into this. We never go into the weird topic of politics. But Jason just sent me, before the show, he sent me a little briefing, a little snapshot of what the little White House briefing from this afternoon. And he showed me that the headline read that Trump recommended making masks out of simple cloth around your house.
There you go.
How do you feel about that? I didn't even get your sentiment on it. So give it to me now.
I like it. I mean, it's about time. I mean, duh. It's almost just like, yeah, where was this a month ago? You know what I mean? Yeah. I mean, I have nothing strong about it except like, go be like ninjas, everyone. I was even thinking like, if you don't have a mask, because I know masks are hard to get these days, and make your own mask. Seriously, like it doesn't a real medical like N95 mask. They're for medical professional.
Okay, what's the
but
one
like
material?
you can even get your whitey tidies and put it over. I'm not even joking. Like the fact get some whitey tidies, all right, where the crotch goes is right in between your face like that. Maybe cut a little bit in the middle and put it around your face like a scarf.
I'm about
no one's gonna know. I mean, just whatever it takes. Or if you want to be a hype beast about it, get your Supreme boxers, get that waistband, and then just somehow make.
That's an instant loss of investment right there. I know we got some listeners right here that subscribe to Supreme weekly, so I know it hurts them to hear that. Hey, the anti-Asian American sentiment we got in our country specifically, maybe not in the Bay. I mean, maybe not in our backyard, but maybe, yeah. You go to
Chinatown, but Chinatown's there. I mean, even the Bay Area, Chinatown's.
Yeah, so, I mean, just in general, the pastors at our church shared a link recently to a really poignant article. It's called A Statement on Asian American Racism in the Time of COVID-19. I don't know if you got a chance to glance that over, but just your overall feeling on the recent spike in overt racism towards the Asian Americans in our community. Specifically us, we are Asian American.
All I can say, at least from my standpoint, is, like there's a lot of, obviously, all these feelings the past few weeks about it. And I'll make this answer quick because I want to give like extra 10 minutes from, at 7:30 for like questions and like answering questions and whatnot. We're good though.
You gotta listen to the people. So I
understand. All right, we're people's champs. But like anyway, it initially was the same as like most people. I'm a fairly reactive person, and I admit to it. But at the end of the day, I see this and I realize that's the product of the fall right there. Even my reaction was the product of the fall. And so, it's not something that we can change overnight, but we can change by whatever that we do. We should, if we see something going on, we should stand up. These are our people. I think as a race in human history, we tend to be much more quiet about things, and just like, I'll let it be. But if something like that were to happen to your family member, you would stand up. So I'm like, you have to look at this as like, we're all in this together, even if you don't know that person of the same race. Stand up. I joke around, like, talking about like, I'm the last Asian that you want to mess with. But like, to be honest with you, like you stand up for whoever is being hurt and, cannot defend for themselves, and more likely than not, the people around us, whether they're of different race, they're going to stand up with you as well too, I believe.
Sure.
But it requires that person to just be like, hey man, we're all in this together. Why are you doing all this? Like, it's not, because sometimes people just don't understand, that they take out their emotions on those people. And that's, again, the product of the fall. Those are the things that we should pray for. So, yeah, that's my thing.
If overt racism
Especially
was
over
placed on you.
Oh, me.
Well, on you. You go out on the street now. You go on the bus. I don't know when you're going to go on the next bus. But you go to that supermarket. You go to that public square, and someone hurls something at you, whether it's just a verbal assault or even physical. What?
That's crazy. You know what? That, like I said, you're the last Asian you want to mess with.
I would even say it's part of our sanctification. In terms of how we deal with in the moment, because I think some of what our sanctification is all about is the stuff that we can't even in the moment control.
Yeah, in the moment, right?
Right. It's the Spirit leading us to turn the other cheek in any ways. It's a very countercultural, let alone superhuman thing to do, to turn away from that. I'm just saying, how would you wrestle through that?
That's a very difficult hypothetical. No joke. I don't even know what I would do. It could go where the Holy Spirit all of a sudden pulled me back, is the one literally holding me back spiritually and physically. Or he might just let me go, and then so I face the consequences. Hey. 1-2, I might go 1-2 on him. Arms up, baby, let's go. So especially because I look like Sub-Zero. Oh, come on, you're just in that mode already. You're like, oh man, I'm Sub-Zero anyway, screw this.
For those that can't see, I don't know if you can see what Jason's got rocking on right now, but I'm intimidated. So
Cubans,
that might Cubans.
Anyway, we got about 9 minutes left.
What?
So, yeah, I know, it's
time
crazy.
flies. With that,
can I give a little recommendation and encouragement for those who are here, if they have time with not only their family but even with their small groups, to consider fasting tomorrow. So
hey, I got a screen share for this. Just hold on a sec.
Okay, can I say it though?
No. Okay, yeah, you can for sure. I'm not hesitant. I can't muffle you.
Oh yeah, right there. So, the Gospel Coalition is having a fast and pray, and so I am fasting breakfast and lunch. Breakfast, they encourage us to pray individually, and then lunchtime with another person or a group of people, and then at 4 p.m. PST, go to that website and they do a mass prayer to end the fasting, because your boy, after a whole day of fasting, I'm gonna be eating a lot. I already planned it. I already purchased 8 meal plans already, ready to go to get delivered on the certain time.
Food truck?
Yeah, it's a food truck. It's a Southeast Asian food truck. So shout out to my people. And so I need
what's the name of that food
nourish
truck?
myself with my people's food.
Gotta get on it.
So can we answer some preguntas?
Hey, these questions could be about anything. Did I stop sharing my screen?
So
I don't want people looking at other
stuff.
stuff.
I have an initial question from the comments on my Facebook, so I'm gonna go through that real quick.
Easy now.
And I'm not gonna say the person's name. I'll just, if they don't want to be known, but I'll just abbreviate LK. First one is LK. She said, I revealed it. I would like to listen about food and where are the best drive-through and takeout places. Future. That's a future podcast right there.
That's a May episode?
Yeah, but I guess the best drive-through and takeout, just go to fast food right here along El Camino. Everything's open over there.
No. She wants the good stuff, not the
good
Arby's.
stuff. I know the good stuff. So don't worry. I'll compile a list. And then CF4 says, "Are you guys like the Entertainment 720 of Sunset Church?" You best believe. My friend.
You know where that's from?
Oh, I know. CF4. Who has a 4 after their name except one guy, man?
You're right.
Okay, so it says, Kevin, do you guys have any questions?
Throw them out.
Things
you want us to talk about, because this was a heavy one. This one was This one was that. All right, we don't want that
In the
as
beginning,
much. We got to balance it out.
The first 5 minutes, like, yo, why are all these people showing up?
We got to find a way to mute them. We've been called the noob. We've been called
we've been
lackluster.
Called noob.
I don't know if I could take this, but if we're gonna do more than one episode, I think we have to.
Okay. How the NBA should resume its regular season postseason format? Woo! I think it's not gonna happen, to be honest. But how it should happen, I think they should have a preseason of about 2 to 3 weeks to get everyone warmed up, and then start playoffs there. But every playoff game is a game of 5, not a game of 7, like the old school days. Where that's better, in my opinion. A game of 5, having everything's on the line.
Oh man, talent doesn't weigh out on that. Hey, we'll save that for next week. But I like
that.
Yeah,
but that's still like just a quick
in the peripheral.
What I think. Yeah.
All right. Anybody else? Who we got? My boy Ja.
About how to juggle working at home and taking care of kids at the same time. Oh, that's a good question.
I have no kids.
That's where I'm at.
I am the kid. So that's gonna be a hard one for me. I'm gonna have to dish one. This
is a difficult one. This is basically this is what I've been ranting on, and like being able to ask God for strength to be able to swallow your inconveniences. God uses inconveniences to not only test us, but to strengthen us. How do I juggle? To be honest, I don't know the specific. There's no formula for it. April and I go day to day with this kind of stuff, really. Like, okay, this day you have this meeting. Okay, so I'll try to watch my best, and stuff. But, we obviously utilize a lot of like educational YouTube, educational Netflix to distract them at least for 30 minutes. Here's the crazy part too. My kids don't take naps. I don't know why.
They're little ones.
I don't know why. Like they don't take naps. So they keep on going. And then there'll be like recess time where I open the door, like, all right, go play outside, and just for an hour and stuff. Like it's literally like all adjustment on the fly. But that's how God is sanctifying us. So
you're right. You're right.
The other thing is workbooks. Like I got lucky, I guess. Like I had a feeling this was gonna happen. So the week before the shutdown happened, I actually went on Amazon and I bought Ari like a workbook.
A VeggieTales coloring book?
No, I don't know. It's called School Zone, but he's getting better with his writing and like numbers, and we're doing math now and stuff. So
next gen.
Do you think
what else we
got? Sam Ting? Do you think the Flint Tropics will win their?
Dude, ignore that one, man. That is bogus. Semi-pro action, huh?
You answer this one.
All right. Do you think the Flint Tropics will win 4th place? Yes, they have proven that they were going to win 4th place so that they can make it into the NBA. Will Ferrell and his squad are gonna kill. Hey, if you're that much of a fan, you could send a jersey of.
Hey, to us, yeah, social distance though.
Ooh, yeah, just leave it on our doorstep. We'll put it on.
Any upcoming guests? That's from my brother. Homan 2.0 is a Scorpion. I'm Sub-Zero.
You're Sub-Zero?
I'm Sub-Zero. Okay. Yeah. I mean, we can't reveal it. It's gonna happen, It's just gonna happen on the fly. You might be one of the guests as well too. You don't know, So we can talk about our past, everything that we did, like beating up each other. So it's all good. Jason, how do you feel about the Lakers possibly losing out on a shot at another title? Correction, Kevin. There is a rule, very small rule, in the book that says that if you have the best record starting February 1st, you win the championship. Apparently that's true. I don't think that's going to fly, but apparently it's true.
Hey,
don't quote me on that.
Ignore the Kev Warriors question. We'll hold off on that just for a sec.
Yeah. That's right. Next week.
Steven left a good one. He said, I said earlier in this podcast, I was going through some complacency, as in many of us. How am I navigating through that? I think a lot of it is, on the private scale, getting on my knees. And I think that physical posture goes a long way with just realigning myself in my prayer, focusing where my mind goes. Another big one is meeting and getting other brothers, sisters in my ear,
Yes.
To point me to the word and to not for the sake of dependency for them, but more so to spur me on. And of course, corporate worship. I think even in this season where we can't be physically together, my wife and I have really appreciated the remote worship, and it's facilitated some of the private moments, the moments that no one else gets to see. So
Hey
thanks
man,
for that
shout out
question.
to the
I'm
shout out to
wrestling
the
through that
worship
still.
team
Yeah.
for like, you know, you guys are essential, by the way. You know, so if a police comes to you like, hey, what's the deal? Like, should I give you $1,000 ticket? No, we're essential. We're the worship team. But shout out for real.
Richard Lee,
Gave a link.
he plugged Sunset Church. Hey, we're gonna do that, man. That was for
man,
little.
Just kidding. No. He's
goodbye. We're gonna send
part of the team. No, you guys, all the participants are part of the Wolf Pack. This is the Wolf Pack right here.
I don't know if I like that name.
What do you want then?
The Goof Troop.
Okay.
The Biblical Bunch. Ryan Chunks is the Biblical Bunch.
Hey, you know what? We're going over 40.
Matt Chung said we are noobs for that reason. Yes, we did go over 40. We're still recording.
How does this work? Matt Chung, you got to talk to us outside of this. I don't know how this is working out.
I got a notification saying that our recording's still going on, so this is going to go clear. Hey, okay. Do you want to go dive into this Warriors prospects question? Top 3 pick scenario?
Yes. I thought you wanted to save it for next week.
I know, but it's
okay, hard, so next week, we're ruining it all. But next week we're going to talk about NBA and your favorite WWE wrestling. So, Eric, I want to see him here.
Do you want to highlight the future episodes right now?
No, just that one.
No, let's just preview. Oh, you want to just go next week?
Yeah, let's go next week.
Okay, fine. All right, next week, April 11th. 10th.
No, April 10th.
Friday, April 10th, 7 p.m., same time here. We're going to be doing an entire episode, NBA and the world.
Wrestling. The world of wrestling, baby. My main man, Austin 316. The finger.
I choose John 316 every time. But if you want to go stone cold, you can. Man, it's hard to ignore that Warriors question, but we'll save it. We'll save it.
Look at now they're fighting already. What is going on?
I love it. I love the banter. The Biblical Bunch loves to fight.
This is the
siblings love to fight. The Goof
Troop. So I got nothing else. Do you have anything to add?
I got to plug in a couple other things before we head out. Give me a sec here. All right. Like Richard already mentioned, for those that do not have a church that they really are attending, even though it is remote, we do have live streams of session going on at 8:30 on Sunday morning.
Can I add something real quick?
Sure.
This is one of the blessings of this weird of being quarantined, but I got to reconnect a little bit with my old home church back at home.
Shout out FCBC?
Shout out to FCBC Walnut, man. Shout out to my main man over there, Hanley Liu, the English pastor. He used to play like KG with his dumb KG pump fake. That I'll be like, pass the ball. But shout out to him. But I got to reconnect at least with their messaging and everything, because everything's all, casted, So I got to sort of be part of the bigger family as a whole. But anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
It's touching. I like that.
Yeah.
All right. Should we take one last question? We should sign out. Kevin's got a good one. Were there any ways in which you were encouraged in seeing the church, General Sunset, come together?
I'm really encouraged. Goof Troop, you did it. You made my weekend.
There's you can't just count the Goof Troop. We got a whole other congregation, man.
No. I know. But just it's we're all hungry for socializing, right? We're all hungry for all this. So this is the least that we can do, to be honest. It's just a fun thing. The reason why how this came about, I'm pretty sure somebody's going to ask one. How does this came about? I was driving on El Camino and I was listening to the podcast and I was like, wait a minute. And then why don't I start a podcast with somebody that, I can run my mouth with? And then I thought in my head, who who would I MC in a wedding? In my wedding, Darren Lee. You know, he's a perfect MC for me at least. You know, pedestal right there.
Hey, you could hire me as your private MC. I'll just narrate what's going on.
So I'm going into my eighth year? Oh, 7th year of marriage. So in 3 years, maybe, I don't know, 10-year anniversary, I might do a revow, you know, I'll need you. Anyway.
As we go on.
and then afterwards, I started listening to Bone Thugs and Harmony, like in the bathroom. And then I just thought, oh, so Harmony, I don't know.
Got a lot of anecdotes in the can.
That's where I get my most light bulb moments, is in the can, by the way.
Gotta have it somewhere.
There you go.
All right.
Anyway, got anything?
No.
I got nothing.
But come out next week. We're going to talk. It's going to be a little bit less trombone sound. It's going to be a little bit more theatrics and Jason going off his rocker. Yeah.
Give me the Kobe. Give me the Kobe soundboard.
I got this one.
LeBron James.
Does that work for you?
But we got to do RIP. Give me the
Come
Kobe.
on, man. Man. We'll do it next time. We'll do it next time because here's the thing. I'm still getting maybe no. See, the thing is, what? I'm still getting used to the sound.
All right. Anyway, I got nothing. You got nothing.
Let's play a little outro of music.
Episode 1, the Derrick Rose. I don't know who's a one you think. That's a good one. Tracy McGrady episode.
T-Mac?
T-Mac.
That's next week.
In the books. Cut it.
In the books. All right, here we go. See you guys later. Thanks for showing up. See you guys next week.
Southwest right. G-Mo still popping. They still chopping.